We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of the AC Show, the coolest show on YouTube. How's everybody doing tonight? Pretty good, I guess. My phone just told me, hey, by the way, did you know you're streaming live right now?
Apparently, you unlocked the door.
Yes, I did. I knew that, phone. Thank you for that.
Got your Zelda ringtone going on.
Well, you know, I've always enjoyed the Zelda ringtone. It doesn't get much better, honestly. I'm gonna pull up the live stream on my computer so that I can monitor chat a little bit better. Right here.
That's the wrong thing. How did you pull that up?
Here we go. All right. I think I got this. Manage moderators. I'm gonna add you. For some reason, I thought that you were the moderator.
Apparently, I'm not.
Yeah. So
there we go.
Wow. Let me see here. Paste new moderators channel URL. Ooh.
Give me a second here. There, I just commented. That way you got me.
Yeah, I wonder if I can just.
Because if you select the comment, I know that will work. Because I got you as moderator on mine.
Got it. Okay. Got it figured out. Sweet. Yep. Okay. So thank you everybody for coming, showing up for the AC Show episode 4. This is going to be a blast. We got a really, really cool show going on today. So we've got another edition of Cool Prints coming up, which is very quickly coming to be one of my absolute favorites. We've got another segment coming up, which is another repeat, which is the Condenser, which basically the Condenser is where we look at some of the most popular news stories in the 3D printing and making community. And then we've got one more, which it's currently untitled, I guess. I need to make up a really witty title, but I'm not super witty all the time. But it's going to be, what did you just say, Aaron? I just forgot what you said.
I said
eco mode or something?
Eco mode is what I said.
We're going to go with eco mode for today. And that title is obviously pending.
Up in the air.
But for right now, it's just going to have to do. Basically, eco mode is where I'm going to feature a useful 3D print that I need actually right now. I'm working on a project, and in order to do to complete the project, I need to make a useful 3D print. Something that doesn't really exist, or it does exist, but it's expensive and I don't want to have to pay for it.
I'll actually have one of those once I get it created here in maybe a couple of weeks for regrinding my shower.
Nice.
So
yeah,
that's what I came up with.
Look forward to that in a couple weeks. Perfect. Okay, but I think we are going to go ahead and get this party started with another edition of Cool Prints.
All right. Do you want me to go first? Or do you want to go first?
You go first, man. Sure. Whatever you want.
All right. So let me get this Screen share. I'll tell you when to pop her up.
Oh yeah, you got it.
All right, go ahead and pop it up.
Ooh. Ooh, I
So
really like that.
this guy 3D printed a bike for his kid. So the wheel is a TPU,
Okay.
adjustable seat.
Love it. Love it. I do kind of wish though that it had pedals, but
Oh, I understand, and I actually have seen a lot of wooden ones of these. So to actually have someone 3D print one for their kid is pretty freaking cool.
was this made on a desktop 3D printer?
Um, well, here's all it says, but it doesn't say
It doesn't say.
what. That's and I only saved it because I saw that.
I mean, it
Um,
looks really cool. I just worry like, are those joints in between the 3D printed pieces? Are those going to be strong enough? I mean,
well, if
he's
you look at it
43, but
here, so this could have been printed on probably a CR10 with the wheel size. Is my guess. So this is probably one good sized piece going through. So he's probably got this part going into here so far and bolted into it, which is what I would have done. I would have had it have that interlocking part on the sides,
and
just
then
so you can bolt it
have it
through.
bolt into it. I
So
wonder, like, if I were to do it, I would do a similar thing, but I would probably run like a threaded rod or something through the middle of it.
yeah, but the only problem is the seat part itself to adjust it.
Well, yeah, but if you ran like two threaded rods, one on either side of that thing,
Oh no, I know.
then
So,
that's really cool though.
but yeah, that's pretty cool. So I thought you'd like that. Then here's one more. So this goes into your robotics. Are you ready for it?
Mhm.
3D printed robotic cat.
I don't know if you know this about me, Aaron, but I hate cats. It's like,
But you can change it to a dog. But it's a 3D printed pet.
but it is right. So, is it like programmable? Does it do something interesting or
So I didn't have a whole lot of time to actually look at it because I mean today was my son's birthday, so
sensor
I didn't
tech?
do a whole lot of looking at everything. But I think you're supposed to be able to program it. Uh, so it's just kind of a robotics platform, but just 3D print all the parts out. You use Arduinos and just get all the circuitry for it and just kind of go at it.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure if it's like an open source for everyone to use, like changing the program and everything, but it does say open source. So it's usually what that means.
I mean,
But if
that's
you go
cool, I
into
guess. But
but if you
like,
go into it, I mean, just the fact that it's a 3D printed robotic animal that you could print on your desktop 3D printer.
I mean, that's cool, but like, how much do the electronics cost? And then could you
So
just
you've got
go buy something like that at Walmart for like 15 bucks?
you could buy something close to it, yes.
I don't know.
But you see, I've got maybe one servo here, another servo here. So there's two, three up here.
And that's
So
on each
that's
leg.
12. That's 12
Yeah.
servos total for its legs. One for the tail. There's 13, 14, maybe 15 here. If you have
Yeah.
got two up here,
Yeah, it looks like it.
what the head side to side looks like, and then up and down. So then you got your battery pack and your Arduino, or which is probably, I'm going to guess maybe a smaller Arduino that you can get, the Nano. So, but yeah, that's mine. You can go ahead and take it off my screen so no one gets Inception.
Nice. Well, all right. That's cool. Oh, you undid that yourself. Okay. Nice. Well, my turn, I guess. So, I just want to talk about some cool stuff that I've been printing over this last week. Some of you maybe spotted it in the background here. I actually made a lamp. I thought it was pretty cool. I printed it in the pipes. I printed in a green PETG, PETG that was actually donated to me by Alien Slacker, the Alien UFO 3D printing box. This is an example of what their box looks like. It's pretty cool. It's got a lot of really cool projects that come every month.
Did you find the Godzilla on that?
Did I find the Godzilla on the box?
Yeah.
Is there a Godzilla on the box?
I believe there is. Oh dang it! What's the name? What's
Brian?
Right as I go to say his name. Right as I go to say his name, I forget the channel.
TV3D?
No, give me a second. Edge of Tech. So if I remember right, on those boxes there are little Godzillas.
Well, I don't see it.
It's probably one of the keys, I guess. I don't know. I have not gotten one of those boxes. So
I don't see it. But my lamp does work. It's pretty sweet.
nice.
It's pretty awesome. It's basically the entire thing's 3D printed except for thing that the light bulb goes in, the wires, and the switch. There is one threaded rod, like a big metal bolt that goes all the way down through the middle that holds all the pieces of the pipe together. But yeah, there's going to be a video coming up in a little while, probably multiple videos actually, that talk about how I made the lamp. There was quite a few different 3D printing processes that I had to use to make this lamp a reality, so it's pretty cool. And then another thing is, yesterday I had a little activity. Some of the guys from my church got together and we had a shooting activity, and the as prizes at the end of the activity, we did shotgun shooting, we did pistol shooting, and we did 22 rifle shooting. And so as part of the prizes at the end, I decided to 3D print some trophies. And so I 3D printed some unicorns mounted like on the wall. So I figured it's appropriate because it was like hunting, you know, because we went shooting. And so this was the first place trophy. It's got a hole in the back, so you can put a nail in the wall and you can just hang it, so like hangs on the wall.
Nice.
And then second place with the silver horn. Third place just has a white horn. And then we only had 4 guys that showed up, and so for the fourth place, I was like, you know, everybody's gonna get a trophy except for one guy. So I decided to print one more trophy, and it is the greenhorn, because greenhorn is another way to say that you are a noob and not very good.
Yep, noob,
So,
you suck.
Yeah. So
practice.
The size difference, first place versus the fourth place, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And I discovered
I like it, greenhorn.
I discovered that my 3D printer will actually print the unicorn at 250% size.
Wow.
And I have a brother-in-law who's really big into hunting, and his wife kind of makes fun of him because every time he goes hunting, he's got to bring something back to mount on his wall. And so they have this big, giant elk head like in the middle of their living room. And my sister will be sitting in a chair, and she'll just be like, staring at me. It's looking right at me. And so sometimes she'll fall asleep on the couch and take a nap. She'll wake up and there's the elf. So we decided that for Christmas this year, we're going to 3D print the biggest unicorn mount that I can make on my printers. And we're going to give it to him so he can mount it on his wall and have a unicorn just mount it up there. I think it's pretty good.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So that's about all I got. I haven't done a ton of 3D printing this week. I've been working a lot on that lamp and getting ready for that activity we did yesterday. But yeah, that's what I got.
Nice. Obviously, well, I printed this a while ago. I'm just getting it worked on now. I've got 3D glue and got it for PLA and gluing it together. Yeah, I'm trying to get it ready for the Maker Faire. I forgot to bring my file to file down some spots so I can piece it together properly. So yeah, can't really do a whole lot on that tonight.
Well,
but
for those of you that maybe don't know what 3D Gloop is, so when he talks about 3D Gloop is a solvent for PLA that can be used to smooth it out, to get rid of the layer lines, make it look smoother. It can also be used to solvent weld parts together, a lot like you do for like PVC pipe and stuff like that. It slightly dissolves the PLA plastic so that when you put the two pieces together, it essentially welds them together using this 3D glue. Yeah. Print. Oh, here.
So shout out to 3D Glue, who are in the same state as me. They're in St. Louis. I'm over by Springfield.
So Cozmic Dumpster says to print interlocking pieces to create a life-size unicorn. I mean, that would be sweet. There are actually a couple of projects that I've seen where people have printed life-size things. In fact, the guy who donated the filament for my lamp project over Alien 3D, I think is his
That
Twitter
big
handle.
old alien.
Yeah, he's actually 3D printing. He did a community project where he posted files for chunks of this giant alien that's like 6 feet high, and people from all over the country and all over the world even 3D printed little bricks, little blocks, and then he brought them to this big Maker Faire and he glued them all together into this giant 6-foot tall alien sculpture. It's
Cool.
pretty cool. If I were a little bit smarter, I maybe could organize something like that. But for right now, it's difficult enough for me to get my own pieces to fit together, much less pieces from all over the country or the world. Plus, if I send it out to all my subscribers, I think I'd get like one person would send me pieces, and that probably would be Aaron. So
I'd send you pieces. I'd send. Oh, you might get Calvin and Jimmy to send you some pieces.
maybe I could see that.
Maybe.
I can see that. All right. So I guess that's all I got for cool prints. So the next segment that we've got today is the condenser. So the condenser is where I take some of the top news stories from this week in 3D printing or making in general, and I put them up for you guys to see.
I can see that. I can see that.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah. So was that you?
Yeah, that was. I was pulling this up real quick.
Oh, the YouTube. Okay, yeah. So
you're
what
good.
I'm gonna do is I am gonna see if I can pop my own screen up here. Share screen. Yeah, got it. This one. Okay, so again, I have put up All3DP's website. All3DP.com is the website that I use to find a lot of my 3D printing news stories. I'm gonna just put this like Okay. Yeah, so all3dp.com is a really cool website that has a lot of really cool 3D printing and other maker news stories. So this art installations, it's got this program that basically you scan your face and then you can talk to yourself using augmented reality. Basically, augmented reality is similar to virtual reality, except for in virtual reality, you put on those goggles and it takes you out of the real world and puts you into
the
the virtual world.
Yep.
Whereas augmented reality is you stay in the real world and it just adds things to the environment around you. So in this case, they're talking about adding an extra person in to the real world next to you. Basically, you'd be talking to yourself, which is kind of cool. Let's see, there's a couple of stories in here that I wanted to look at. And that is, yeah, so Ultimaker came out with a new printer. Did you read about this?
That's actually what I wanted to talk about. I was actually wanting to talk about that.
Really?
Yeah, so yes. It's perfect to get it pulled up. Yes, their 3-tier
Oh, yeah.
system for their, was it S5?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
what they're
so.
calling it? S5?
Well, yep. So yeah, so it's meant for the S5. So basically,
Yeah.
what they've added is they've added filament storage on the bottom, so you can put
Have them 6 enclosed, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you can fit 6 spools of filament all inside, and then it has a super cool EPA filter up on top in order to filter out nasty particles when printing ABS or something like that. But it says, and I don't know if this is just me misinterpreting or something, but it says, let's see, it says uninterrupted printing with automatic material switching, which means if you run out of material, it will automatically switch filaments for you. And I don't know if that means that if you have 2 filaments loaded, that it'll switch to the other filament that you have already loaded, or if it seems like it actually, when you put those 6 spools in there, you actually load those up and it automatically switches for you.
I want to say that is correct, but it's been a while.
That seems wrong. That seems wrong, but it is pretty cool. I'll say that. It's cool to have filament storage right there built into the printer and have its own little box. Like this is now going to a system where this is no longer a desktop 3D printer. This is a standalone 3D printing system, which, you know, you're kind of creating a more affordable standalone 3D printing system, because right now, I mean, the only companies that make something that most people could even fathom affording would be like Stratasys, and even their printers are thousands of dollars, $10,000, $15,000. And so this is something that, I mean, an S5 is probably like $1,500 maybe. Plus you add this, you're probably looking at, $2,000, $2.5. And so having something like that is it's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, here, you want to pop this up real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
She got a video for it. So let me know when you're ready.
Oh, it's already up. Sorry.
All right. Can you hear the audio?
Yep. Man, those graphics are sexy though, dude. That looks so good.
Yeah, if I can find they've got a couple different ones, so it's hard to remember which one's the correct one.
Yeah, so this is the new printer, S3. This is the new one that they're launching.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're just launching the S3, but they're also introducing the attachments for the S5.
That first video that you showed, it looked like all 6 filament spools were loaded up.
Yeah, all 6 were completely loaded up.
Are there rollers in there inside that cabinet?
I want to say yes. So yeah, that was our coming soon.
Yeah,
But I watched it and they talked about it actually, which was really cool. So yeah, you got all 6 in here. They kind of feed in the front part right there.
mm-hmm.
And let's go over. I'll pause it on the spot. Yeah, so it's your Pro bundle.
Yeah, see right there, it looks like they're all loaded up.
Yeah, so they are all loaded up. And the interesting thing is, look, there's 2 spots for it to go in.
Yeah.
So some are in the very front, but some are in the very back.
Yeah, why?
So,
what's the difference?
This is 1, 2. I was going to say that's 3 and 4 then. So 10. You got 10 holes. So I'm guessing it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
But why? Are they gonna have? Are you gonna be able to load 10? Or is this? Does this look? This looks like it's a rendered visual thing. Like it's not like the
Yeah,
real.
this is pretty much just rendered.
Yeah.
But it should feed it in and up and out. So I mean, if it's doing what they say it should do, that it'll take and just feed it back in to your nozzles through your boat system.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It's way out of my price range, but it's real nice.
Yeah. Yep. It is. Me too. Me too. Yeah. So that was the first one that I kind of saw. I really thought that was pretty cool. And then let's see what else. There's some new materials that are coming out. This company, 3D Systems, they make 3D printed materials, and they are making materials that they claim are have similar characteristics as injection molded plastics.
Interesting.
So getting injection molded pieces essentially out of FDM 3D printers. So that's kind of cool. They print at decent temperature. I mean, they print at like 300 C.
Okay, so you can't have your basic desktop printer.
Yeah,
you gotta
standard
have
desktop
that's got
printers aren't going to be able
metal.
to print this, but 300C is a lot less than some of those others like Peak and stuff that print like 500 or something.
Yeah. So Cosmic Dumpster asked, what computer to use for streaming? His computer is fine, but when he tries to stream, it sucks.
Yeah. So yeah,
I use an old laptop. Mine's 7, 8 years old, and it being used on your bandwidth is one thing. So if people are watching constant videos or something's being downloaded or uploaded, that will hinder your quality. Also, your output of your video. So if you're going to be streaming something, don't do it 1080 or 4K. Do it at like 720. That's a big thing that's going to help you out right there.
Yeah, that's good. And I actually have a pretty decent computer. I custom built a PC, but honestly, one of the really cool things is having a decent webcam, but then also using we use the StreamYard. With StreamYard.com is what we use for our streams, and I think that a lot of this processing goes through StreamYard's website. So as long as you have decent internet, you can stream even with a crappy laptop like Aaron's.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't have to have like a super nice computer. You can see that sometimes Aaron's thing kind of goes a little bit grainy, but that's just because I think the internet speed that he's got where he's at.
Oh, so he says he uses OBS, and OBS is actually fine. It change your output. Make sure it's 720. Don't go any higher than that if you're live streaming. If you're just recording something to post up, go 1080p.
Well, and even like when you're live streaming, like you don't need to even go 720. 480 is pretty much the standard. I mean, you think about
Oh yeah,
before everybody was watching, 1080p and 4K videos and ultra super high definition with Blu-ray
oh
players
yeah,
and 3D Blu. I mean, DVD players used 480p, and I grew up watching pretty much everything in 480p, and
yeah.
you can you can tell a difference like when you switch between the two, but 480p honestly is just fine for something like a little live stream like what we're doing here, just to be able to see my ugly face. It might almost be better if we downgraded the quality,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and mine might be going grainy because I selected 720 on mine. I was just like, oh, sure, 720. That's I think what it's always on. I think it's always on 400. So yeah, you don't go higher than 720 if you're live streaming. Just keep it a low quality. And as you said, your webcam helps. Like my webcam is a pretty good webcam. I actually got it on sale for $15 on Amazon. It is originally a $50 webcam. You can get good deals. And $50 is actually a decent price for this cam just for the audio that it actually puts out and its video quality. And the one thing I like about it is it does not actually autofocus. I hate the autofocus cameras. So when I do this, it's not going to focus. I have to manually twist it.
My camera autofocuses and I love it, but
So that's one thing I like about mine. So I will actually I'll type in the comment section what I'm actually using so you can go and look it up.
yeah. So just a couple little things that I saw. Some buses, some trains. I mean, in the UK are using 3D printed grab handles, which is really cool because something like that they break all the time, and being able to just replace it super easy. That's really cool. These guys took a regular car and 3D printed a Lamborghini chassis for it, which is really cool.
That's
Um,
pretty cool.
the Mini MK3. Okay,
And
have you
what now?
seen this? It's
No.
So this guy made a mini Prusa i3 MK3 and showed it to Joseph Prusa at a Maker Fest.
Probably out in
And it's
probably in
really
Purge.
cool. And so Joseph Prusa, the maker of the Prusa i3 printer, which is basically the printer that started this entire low budget printer movement, really.
Yep.
So he tweeted this picture out and asked, what do you guys think? Should we release a mini Prusa i3 MK3? And I was like,
Yes.
heck yeah, you
If
should.
you release it for cheap, then I can buy it.
I mean, I don't know how expensive it's going to be. The regular Prusa MK3s, they go for was it like $500?
600, depending on if
Yeah,
you get the newer, could be closer to 7.
500 or $600. If they did a smaller one, maybe they could be convinced to go to like 300, maybe.
Yeah, 300. I can afford that a little more easier. I mean,
I still wouldn't be able to buy one, but I'd like one. I think it'd be
I
really
said I can
cool.
afford it a little easier. I can afford that. It take less time to get that. But of course, then you'd have all the copycats releasing the mini ones out there. So then you could get a mini, clone.
I could maybe get by only selling a part of my soul instead of the entire thing to get one. I could just sell one of my legs instead of both. Yeah. So, anyways, I thought that was really cool. And then this one here is really something that I thought was an interesting idea. So basically, this big machine, it juices oranges like right in front of you. Let's see if it shows a picture. Yeah. So you see it's got this big giant track up above it for these oranges just like falling, and it juices these oranges,
Yes.
but it uses the peel from the oranges and it molds it into a cup. You see that right there? It molds the
Uh-huh.
rind into a cup that holds the orange juice. So it
Wow.
basically 3D prints a cup out of the orange peel, and then
Okay, so I can
you
see that.
drink the juice out of a 3D printed orange peel cup. I thought that was
I
really
mean,
cool.
as long as they don't. I mean, as long as they don't use any like, toxic chemicals to bind that agent together. If it's just kind of a
Well, I
you
mean, if you
form it, well, you put it into pulp pretty much, and then you compress it into a mold form, and then like dry it out like that, and then it should stay fine. So something like that. So nothing to truly use like an adhesive glue for it. That's what I'm trying to get to.
so it says that it's a bioplastic that they make out of the rind, and then it has a
Interesting.
3D printer in the center of the machine where you can actually, like when you order your orange juice, you watch the cup be made right in front of your eyes.
Huh. I wonder how long that takes.
It says half an hour to print the cup.
I can see that. I mean, cup's got to be like what, 50, 70 millimeters tall from
But
that
they're
picture.
worried about, they say the material that they use, well, like the process that they're using is not considered to be food safe because 3D printers really aren't considered to make food grade materials. Um, but it's a cool idea. There's a picture of what it looks like.
That's kind of cool.
I thought it was pretty sweet looking. I mean, at least if anything, it's beautiful. You know,
Oh yeah,
it looks cool.
concept
Um,
of what can be done with 3D printing.
yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, and then this is the one right here that I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
So, have you heard this story?
Have not.
Yeah. So this kid in the UK 3D printed a gun. He said that it was for a drama project that he was doing for school. That it was actually a fake gun that couldn't actually be fired. Um, but this is what. Yeah, I don't
That
think.
bottom one looks like a Nerf gun.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where they got these images from. I don't think that they even have an actual picture of the gun that he used.
Because I mean that top one looks like a small little hand revolver.
Yeah, like a
Got
single shot or something.
uh,
So,
yeah, it looks like it's got a couple.
no, it looks like it has a revolving chamber in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, anyways, this kid 3D printed a gun and he got caught with it, and it's illegal to
Yeah, over there.
manufacture
Well,
guns over there for sure.
over there, it's illegal to have them anyway.
Right. So, anyways, they found bullets with it too, and he says that he was making the gun just as like a as a prop for like a drama production or something. But they like confiscated his computer and stuff, and they said that his search history looks like he was researching metal pipes and stuff. Um, they said that he was looking at like pipes and stuff to try to uh, create a better barrel so he'd be able to actually use the gun. And when the cops arrived, they said that he threw a bunch of 3D printed parts like out the window. And so like I don't know. See, as far as 3D printing guns go, my opinion, and this might be a minority opinion or whatever, but honestly, I think that you can make a lot more dangerous things out of stuff you find in a hardware store.
I can make
Like,
a shotgun out of stuff I find in the hardware store. A
absolutely. I
shotgun.
mean, give me give me 15 minutes in a hardware store. I can probably build something that's way more deadly and way more durable than this crappy little 3D printed plastic gun.
And take less time to put together.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because the 3D printing part, between printing it and finishing it, and you'd have to sand and sand and sand to get all the
Yeah,
pieces
well,
to fit properly,
yep.
and then you'd be able to get like one shot out of it. I mean, honestly, I could go to a hardware store.
And I know how to. I know I've not 3D printed a gun. I know how to work it so you can shoot it multiple times. And I'm not going to divulge that, but I know how to. Yes, okay, you go ahead and read that. I read
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So Cosmic Dumpster, he's shouting us out here, helping us with our little intro. Hello, everyone, and welcome to AC, the coolest show on the internet. Today, as always, I am joined by the handy outdoor nerd to show you your weekly dose of 3D printed coolness. Where's my sunglasses? Nice. So, as we're talking about 3D printed guns, right? Yeah. Nice.
It's good thing we're not monetized.
Yeah. I don't care, honestly. Like, at this point, like, I feel like I'm never going to get monetized, and so I really just could not care less anymore.
Well, and I'm not even close to being up to where I need to be monetized.
Yeah.
And I don't care about paying anything really. I mean, if I get 1,000+ subscribers, or obviously plus, I'm okay with that. But I'll work my way up. I'll work my way up slowly. It happens.
Like, I don't know how often you go shooting, Aaron, or like how avid, whatever. But I mean, I own guns. I own a few guns, and I like going shooting. I go shooting all the time. It's one of my favorite things to go do.
It's been
like, one of my favorite videos that I ever made was explaining. Well, I actually didn't explain anything in this video. It was just fun to make. But I talked about Newton's first law of motion and how
still there.
How basically we could create bulletproof objects out of stuff you find like at the dollar store. Uh-oh, Aaron is dropping out of the stream for a second, guys. Hopefully he comes back soon.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah. It said problems, and it was like everything was loading. I was like, let's hit refresh.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, like, basically, I just made these bulletproof plates out of stuff that I found at the dollar store, and then I went and shot them with every gun that I own just to see if it was able to stop a bullet. And it was a lot of fun to make, and I am absolutely going to make more videos like that. And I don't know what I'm going to do when YouTube decides to not let me post stuff because I'm making a video. I actually had a video idea.
They're gonna do to you what they've done to Crowder.
I've got a video idea I want to run past you real quick since everyone's watching, right? So here's my idea. Right. So I was watching the Democratic debate the other day because I'm curious, Oh yes, I love that face you just made of me. It's great. So I'm watching the Democratic debate. Let's do this. Yeah. So I'm watching the Democratic debate, and in the Democratic debate, they're talking about 30-round magazines. They're like, nobody needs 30-round magazines for any reason, and it's crazy. And if we get rid of these 30-round magazines, we're gonna be able to stop school shootings. And they're like, people just don't care, or whatever. And I was like, listen, for me, I don't need a 30-round magazine. I've got a pistol. It holds 17 rounds. And I guarantee you, I am more accurate with my pistol than I would be with an AR-15 with 30 rounds. So here's my video idea. All right, I'm gonna go out to the shooting range and I'm gonna set up 30 targets, and I'm gonna get out an AR-15 with a 30 round clip, and I'm gonna shoot one bullet at each one of those targets, and I'm gonna time myself, see how fast I can shoot all 30 bullets, and see how many targets I actually hit. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my pistol, where I have to eject a clip and reload in order to keep going. And I'm going to see how long it takes me to fire 30 rounds with my pistol and how many targets I actually hit. Because honestly, I think it's craziness. Like the difference between an AR-15 and my little handgun pistol, there's not much. It has a longer barrel and it has a bigger magazine, and that's it. I can shoot my pistol just as fast.
Oh, but it leaves holes this big, Chris. It leaves holes this big in an object.
Oh yeah, bull crap! It leaves holes.
I've seen that post. I'm like,
it leaves holes that are slightly larger than a 22.
It's like poke your pinky through something. It's smaller than that. It's really small.
Because an AR-15 uses a .223 size round, so a .223, we're talking about 3/1000ths of an inch larger than a 22. You know, we're talking about something so microscopic, like it's barely larger than a 22. So, anyways, I'm gonna make this video, and that's how I got demonetized for a third time. Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, that's my plan. I'm gonna make this a little bit. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of crap about school shootings and stuff, and one of the things that pisses me off more than anything. Okay, I cannot say that. Oh my gosh. One of the things that really just drives me crazy about this whole scenario is they keep coming up with this argument. I'm tired of kids going to school and being told to sit in a corner and wait till they get shot. And I'm like, I do not tell my kids that. You know, I am a teacher, and I can tell you right now, if someone comes into my classroom, we are fighting back. My kids are not sitting down in a corner trying to stay quiet, because first of all, they can't stay quiet because they're scared out of their minds. Second of all, we are going to fight back. I'm not going to just sit there and watch my kids get shot. It's just not going to happen. And so we spend, you know, in my classroom at least, Aaron's coming back. I promise. In my classroom, I spend probably, I don't know, at least 2 days a year. We do nothing but just practice what we would do in the event of a lockdown. And I drill into my kids, this is exactly what we would do. So, you know, I'm not too concerned about that part of it, because I feel like I'm going to do everything I can to prevent any of my students from getting hurt. But I don't know. It's just, I get real riled up about it. We're going to have to maybe have a totally separate stream about.
Oh yeah. Cozmic Dumpster says this went from 3D prints to bullets, full sizes.
Yeah. It did.
Well, this is
the coolest show on
YouTube. The thing is, you get Beto O'Rourke going out there saying, I'm going to take your AK-47s and your AR-15s away from you. You're not taking my guns away from me,
I would
period.
like to see you try, yeah.
If you're going to come to my door, try that, you're going to get shot trying to do so. And also, anyone that wants to commit a crime will find a way. There is this one guy I follow on TikTok. He even admits.
Yeah, no, seriously, this is a real strategy. Like, keep a bucket of rocks in your classroom, and then You give each student a rock, and you say, if somebody opens this door with a gun, you throw that rock as hard as you can at them.
Yep.
It's been proven that, like, even when they do the training, they do it with like rubber balls, and they're like even like a little rubber ball, just something.
Anything that fly to distract them.
It's enough to freak them out that they'll leave your classroom alone. Like, it saves lives. Yeah.
Yeah. But so anyone that wants to get one, they're going to get one. This guy says he admits he's a felon because when he was 18 years old, he committed robberies, broke in, and he was out in a state that's, I'll remember what the state he said he was in. But if there wasn't a gun to be found, they knew that the house that they were going to go in, to break into didn't have it. They took bats and knives. It didn't matter what they had. They would take a weapon. But he said, out in, I think maybe in Nebraska, I found guns illegally and got them and committed these crimes at 18. 18, he committed these crimes. And he says, I'm not complaining that I can't have guns right now as a criminal, and that I'm not complaining that the government says, no, you can't expunge your record. No, this is coming from this guy who's a felon. He says, people need to have their guns to protect themselves from people that break in with guns. Period.
So this is a discussion for another time.
Yeah.
But I really want to talk to you about the lady that shot someone because she went into the wrong apartment. Did you hear this story?
The cop? Oh yeah. I work at a news station. Of course I know this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she went to like the floor or two above. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna have to talk about that another time because I don't think we have time today. But that's something I want to talk to you about because it's pretty crazy.
Oh, widow, it's crazy.
Yeah. So okay, so we're gonna do another segment here. It's called Eco Mode. Basically, I have a problem that I think can be solved with 3D printing, and so I'm gonna spend just a couple minutes. Hopefully, I can do it pretty quick. I'm gonna be doing a little tutorial on designing three-dimensional design in Fusion 360. And then people who are watching, or feel free to follow along, or if you're watching this later, you can follow along as a little tutorial to teach you some of the basics of Fusion 360. I, myself, suck at it. Aaron's a little better than me. I'm pretty bad. If you watched our stream last week, it was pretty miserable. Did you 3D print?
Have you printed your coin yet?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't.
And as I've said most of my stuff past week when I try to print stuff, so no, I've not tried to print it yet.
Yeah.
I've got some stuff I'm trying to get ready for the Maker Faire, and I'm just like, this is on my back burner.
If you get your printers working though, before you go to the Maker Faire, you can sit there and print Maker products. I don't know that
they're working. I just got other stuff I'm trying to get printed at this point in time.
Did you get your turtle printed?
Yeah, and part it broke. Yeah, I wasn't very happy about it. I'm sitting there got it all put together, using it, and all pieces broke. And it's like, you're staying home.
That's lame. That's lame.
I wasn't happy about it.
Okay, so I jumped over here into Fusion 360. So basically, this is the problem that I'm trying to solve. So I have a computer monitor. I've got my computer all set up. I wonder if I can just do this here. So I got my computer set up. I've got 2 monitors. And it's a really fun. It's a really fun system. The problem is where my monitor sits and the amount of space that I have on my desk. I just don't have very much. So what I want to do is mount focus. Look, see autofocus here. That's what I'm talking about. So what I want to do is mount my computer monitor on the wall. And so I was looking at some 3D print. So I was looking at some brackets that I could use to mount my monitor and I just wasn't satisfied with the way they looked or the way that they were going to be. So I decided, you know what? I am going to make my own. You're making me yawn. Don't do it.
I'm sorry.
Dang it. So I decided I'm going to 3D print and I'm going to design and 3D print my own bracket. So I looked up the specs and I learned that the holes, it's got 4 holes essentially. It's got 2 on top, 2 on bottom, and the holes are 75 millimeters apart in every different.
Is that the center?
From center to center of the hole is 75 millimeters apart.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a sketch. And because for some reason you can never get the sketch to go on the right plane, I am just going to pick a random one. And so I am going to draw a rectangle, but I'm going to draw a center rectangle because I want to put it right here in the center. And so I'm going to start out
75, 75?
Yeah, I'm going to do a 75 by 75 rectangle. And so the corners of the rectangle are where the holes
circles
would be.
Yep.
So I'm going to just go ahead and draw some circles that are, I measure my holes. They're less than, the holes in the back of my monitor are less than 5 millimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and make these circles 5 millimeters. But I'm not going to do anything. I'm only going to just draw one circle, and because I want to show a little trick. I want to show off a little bit in just a minute. And then I'm going to make the bracket. So I'm going to do another center rectangle. I'm going to go right here in the middle, and I'm going to make the bracket. I think, what did I say? 100 by 100. So that's going to be the size of the bracket with the holes in it. I think I'm actually going to put a big circle in the middle because I hate that I am going to 3D print all of this extra plastic that I'm not going to need. So I'm going to put a 60 millimeter hole in it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and extrude these pieces. I'm actually going to extrude this too because I want to show you a little trick. Well, I mean, you probably already know this trick, but I'm going to show people who are watching a little trick. So I'm going to just extrude this. I'm going to make it 5 millimeters tall. So I'm going to turn the sketch back on so I can see my circles and stuff. And so here's my little trick I'm going to do. So I'm going to push E for extrude, and I am going to select this circle that I made before. Here we go. And I'm going to say I'm going to extrude it 10, and what it's going to do is it's going to hopefully, if I can do this right, it's going to cut a hole into the print. And the reason why I wanted to do it that way is because I want to make a pattern out of this.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a circular pattern. So I know that this is in the right spot. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to create pattern, and I'm going to create a circular pattern. And when I create that circular pattern, I'm going to choose as my pattern type features. So in other words, like little things that you do, like punching a hole out, for example, is going to be the feature I want to select. So I'm going to select that feature, which is where I punch that hole. And then I'm going to select what axis I want it to be rotated around. And if I just click on one of these circles, it's going to automatically generate that.
You can do the circle, or you can do the z-axis in the middle.
The blue one here. I can do the blue one if I want to. So I need to have 4 of them. And so when I push 4 of them, then it automatically creates all 4 holes that are perfectly spaced exactly where I need them to be. And if I go and inspect them, I can select this circle, and it tells me that it is exactly, I don't know if you can see that or not, 75 millimeters from center to center, which is exactly what I wanted. So that's pretty cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little, it's called a French cleat. basically I'm going to draw in a little extra spiky dikey over here.
Yep.
About like that. And then I'm going to go, let's see, 5.
You pretty much doing like a French cleat.
It's going to be a French cleat, yeah. Yeah. So,
Pull my woodworking out of my hat.
yeah. So then I'm going to take this, I'm going to extrude it. I think I need to go maybe 100 to make it connect, if I'm right. Yep. Okay. So
Yep.
now what I've done is I've put a little hook on the end, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to push F for fillet, and I'm going to click on some of these sharp pointies, and I'm going to add a little radius to it. And so what that's going to do is it's going to round off the edges to make it not so sharp, and it's also going to add some strength to this joint.
Chris, you're going to want to go back to the those top 2 holes right there, and you're going to want to extrude them all the way out the back so you can actually use to tighten the screws in.
Right. Yeah, so actually what I'm thinking about doing is I'm gonna I think I can click E for extrude. No, I can't, because I don't have anything drawn there. So let's see what I can do here. I did this the other day, and it worked out perfectly. It really did. So what I'll do then is, geez, how do I do this, man?
You got sketch on? You got your sketch turned on for those? Yeah, so go ahead and go
If I
up
turn
to
the
your
sketch on, I
circle.
can just extrude it, huh?
Yeah, and just do that.
I only have one circle drawn now. I guess I can draw the other circles. I was trying to be fancy.
Well, you only need the one circle up, those 2 circles up top. You don't need any more than the 2.
Yeah. Well, just draw these in here. I'm so lazy when it comes to this. Like, I try to be cool, but really I'm just terrible at it. Okay, so just go through. Is it these ones? I can't
That'd
even
be your
remember.
top 2, upper 2.
It's these 2, yeah?
Yep.
So I select all those pieces, and I'm going to just extrude. I'm just going to say like 30 because why not? And this is going to be a cut. Oh, there's nothing to cut because for some reason when you're in the sketch, hold on.
So what you're doing, your sketch is before the actual extrusion. That's what you can't cut.
So I just have to finish the sketch, and then now I can do it. So I click on it on my circles here, and I'm going to extrude it like 30 just to make sure I get all the way through. There. So now all that does is that's just going to cut some little grooves so that I can get the screw into the hole. And that should be just fine right there.
Yep.
So there's that part. Now the next part is to create a little bracket that I can screw to the wall.
What I would do is go to the side view of that and click on, yep, like just go ahead and click your square to get right onto it. Your square up your box in the corner. Just go click on that face.
This right here you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you click on the edge of the curved part on that side, so down the inside part where you're gonna, right there. Click that and hold shift down and select that part there, and then make sure you got all of that arc selected. So once you got that selected, hit O.
I have no idea what we're doing here. This doesn't make sense to me.
I'm trying to read what you got up there on your screen. So if you do it right, you can do O for offset, and then you can just create your part that way that you need. You just extrude it back that way to the other side, and you keep that offset so it's not going to mess with the actual part. You'll have a nice size difference that you want.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off these sketches because it confuses me. And let's go. There we go. I'm going to go back a step here. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm going to go back a step, and I am going to add some fillets. I got this. I got this figured out. I'm going to add a few fillets. First of all, I add fillets because it makes the print a lot smoother and a lot easier to get off the build plate. But what that's also going to do is give me a rounded edge to clip into the bracket. I think I can do that. Yeah. There we go. So that's going to give me a much smoother edge, and I think that that is going to be okay. So now I go back into my sketch. Come on now. Now I will draw that circle back in. Finish sketch. Show the sketch. E for extrude. And then punch that. Okay. There, that's a little bit better actually. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and create this part by doing a side view. So I'm going to just create a new sketch. That's what I'm, because I suck at this. So this is the easiest thing for me. Oh, I want to do side view. This will work. I can do this. So I'm going to just create a rectangle. I want it to be that big. Come on now. Move. There we go.
So Cosmic Dumpster had said, to teach how cool 3D printing is, make a video about building a really complex object or structure with a not as complex program like Tinkercad.
I would love to do that if I was better at Tinkercad.
Yeah, I kind of suck at Tinkercad. I can do Tinkercad.
I'll get better at it. I mean, I know I will.
Well, if you were listening earlier, Cosmic Dumpster, I don't know when you came on, the reason it's called Eco Mode is because we're trying to figure out a name out for this type of segment. So right now we don't have an actual set name for it because it is the AC show, the coolest show on YouTube. We're trying to keep with the lingo of Ace the air conditioner. So that's why it's called Eco Mode right now.
See, this is how I roll, man. Like, just do it manually because I'm terrible. But it's gonna be all right. It's gonna work. It's going to work out. There we go. Ooh, it's like, hey, by the way, you forgot one. Something's wrong here. Not sure what it is, but something's wrong. those let me do it. Well, I can do it too. So there we go. Problem solved, I guess. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I don't care where the screw holes go in this piece. So I'm just going to kind of do a couple of screw holes in about the same spot just to make them symmetrical. The reason why I don't care is because this is going to be screwed into a piece of wood. So there we go. Cut them out. And then I will even go to modify, chamfer, and I'll put a chamfered edge on there for the screws to help hide them a little bit. So now I should be able, in theory, to screw this to the wall, to my board that's going to be on the wall, and then I can screw this to my monitor, and my monitor will hang from this piece if I just let's see. I'm going to, there we go. All right, now it kind of looks a little bit more like I want it to.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so I'll just screw this to the wall, and then I'll screw this to my monitor, and then I should be able to just hang my monitor from that bracket, maybe?
There you go.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Anyways, so that took a lot longer than it should have.
It happens. At least it wasn't the maker coin time.
Yeah, well, at least it wasn't like being timed. Man, I need a new banner. I gotta make a new banner.
You gonna call it Bruce?
Yeah. There we go. All right. So, anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. You got anything more to add, Aaron?
I've got nothing more to add. I figured I'd let you segment something, well, make something in this and not take up the time, considering last time we both kind of did that sort of segment. It took a big chunk of time out of the show.
It was a little long. I think in the future, doing some tutorials on Fusion 360, I think we are gonna have to practice beforehand so that we can just.
Although doing the maker points on the spot, I liked doing that. So
it was fun. I'll give you that. It was fun, but
I obviously I did have to go over and modify a couple things on your maker coin because I didn't realize I hit R instead of S. MCR.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like wait, what? It's not Mr. Science. So I changed that and to kind of add some. You know what? Well, give me a second, and I'll show everybody.
Okay, and by the way, Cosmic Dumpster, it was called Eco Mode because we were trying to find it was something to do with air conditioning that had to do with useful 3D printing, like something that you could actually use. Because a lot of times people 3D print stuff, they 3D print like dragons and stuff that looks cool visually, but it's just not very useful. And so we just we were just throwing some names out there. But yeah.
All right, go ahead and share my screen.
You're up.
All right, so this is the finished product of his maker coin. I added some fillets all around. here to bring this down. Added some fillets up here and just around here to make it nice and smooth, kind of blend in and not be so sharp on the edges other than the underside, which you can obviously add in fillets to do that, but that's how I wanted that to turn out. So you got MCS for Mr. Colonel Science, but then if you rotate all the way around, you got Mr. Colonel Science.
What? How big is that?
Oh, we go up to the top, and you can scale it up to whatever size. But if I go circle, I was not paying attention on the actual scaling of the object. Yeah, it's about 15 millimeters.
15 millimeters.
So you'll want to scale it up anyway. But it's just the thing, I wasn't going off of actual like size of just going, oh well, this is the size I need to make this, and this is going to go here to match this. It was winging it. So
Right.
So yeah, make it up to like 23, 25 millimeters around there is probably what you want to do. But that's how it is. And the Mr. Carroll Science is countersunk up into it. So
Well, I'm gonna see if I can fix my printer real quick. What my printer that's here at home, it's got some struggles right now, but I think I might be able to fix it real quick, and I might try and start that print up before I go to bed, just to see how it does.
well, there you go.
But anyways, hey, thank you guys so much. Those of you that stuck with us, that endured until the end, we really appreciate it. This is a fun show, and if you guys want us to keep doing this show, please make sure that you leave a like on the video. That always is helpful. Feel free to make comments and suggestions. If you're rewatching this later, please feel free to make some comments to let us know what you'd like to see on the show in the future. If you have any ideas for segments, we really appreciate it. And like I said, I have a blast doing this. Hopefully it's going to keep going. Next week, we're going to be over on Aaron's channel. That is the Handy Outdoor Nerd. So please look him up so you don't miss our show next week.
And if anyone's here in Missouri or around about southern Missouri, Arkansas, this coming weekend, the 5th is the Ozark Mini Maker Fair. I will be there. And if you're there, stop by and say hi. So
I'm going to be there. In spirit.
I in spirit. I said I don't believe it. You just show up there, Chris. But so the next stream that I do will be the day after my Maker Fair. So that Friday, I'm setting up sometime after 2:00 in the evening, and then there's a Maker meetup, and then that goes to like 7:30 at night. So then I got to get there Saturday morning before 8:00 the next morning, and then I can't start tearing down till like 5:30 at night. So it's gonna be a busy weekend for me, to
Make
say
sure you
the
get
least.
some footage so that you can share it on your channel and we can see all the wonderful, awesome, cool things that you did.
I plan on it. I should be able to get Wi-Fi while I'm there, so I might live stream while I'm there. I also gonna take my GoPro and do a time lapse, set it up for time lapse. And if I can have a friend actually show up and do a walk around of the Maker Fair and record it for me while I'm at my booth. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be a busy week for me this week. I've got a woodworking project I got to finish up and everything. So with 3D printing. So yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Aaron,
So,
thanks again.
Thank you, everybody.
It was a lot of fun. And,
Always.
yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking around. And I will see you guys in the classroom.
Take it easy.